Yes, there are.
Good. Are there any chairs in here?
No, there aren't, but there are some in the living room.
There aren't any glasses.
Yes, there are. They're in the cupboard.
And where's the toilet?
Where is your meeting?
In Dallas, Texas.
How are you going?
By plane.
Do you like to fly?
Sure. It's fast and comfortable.
I'm afraid of flying.
That's silly. Flying is very safe.
Maybe, but I don't feel safe in a plane.
I understand. A lot of people feel that way.
I'd like to reconfirm my plane reservation.
What flight are you taking?
Flight 207.
And your name, please?
Henry Chandler.
Yes, sir. You're booked on Flight 207. Please check in at the airport an hour before flight time.
Thank you.
Which tourist attractions do you prefer when traveling? Historical places or natural landmarks?
Well, historical places are always my first choice when traveling.
What do you usually do when visiting historical places?
I usually listen to the tour guide introducing the sites and take notes about important historical events.
Can you name some historical places you have visited?
Whenever I travel to a foreign country, I always visit its famous historical places. Some of them are the pyramids in Egypt, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, Stonehenge in England, and the Taj Mahal in India.
What's your most favorite historical place? Why?
I love the pyramids the most. Taking a tour around the pyramids, I can not only enjoy the gorgeous architecture, but also learn cultural and historical values of the ancient Egyptian culture.
What is the most famous historical place in your country?
It's definitely the Statue of Liberty in New York City.
What's special about it?
The statue was gifted by the people of France. It is a symbol of freedom for the U.S. as well as a welcoming sight to people coming to the U.S. from another country.
Where is it located?
It's located on Liberty Island in New York Harbor, NYC.
Should the youth visit historical places instead of other places?
Sure. Nowadays, the youth should visit these kind of places more often in order to preserve historical and cultural values of their country.
What are the benefits of reading a newspaper or magazine?
Newspapers, magazines, can broaden your mind about thousands of things without the need to travel.
How often do you read it?
I read it every day.
What's the best time to read the newspaper?
I think the best time is in the morning when you start a new day.
What types of magazines do you usually read?
I usually read politics and fashion magazines. I also enjoy reading about culture and tourism.
What's your favorite magazine?
My favorite is the New York Times, which writes about all sorts of things: business, sports, movies, travel, books, jobs, education, and real estate.
Do you read the paper or online news?
I prefer online news to save money.
How much does it cost you to buy paper newspaper per month?
I only buy a monthly newspaper, so it doesn't cost much money, around $5 a month.
What is the most popular magazine in your country?
I think it would be Forbes magazine, a leading source for reliable business news and financial information.
With the popularity of internet, do you think newspapers and magazines will disappear?
Yes, unfortunately, it's just a matter of time.
How many events have you joined this year? What were they about?
I have joined more than 10 events so far, most of which were about education.
What was your most memorable event?
The most memorable for me was an international study conference in which I was introduced to some famous universities in Europe to study overseas.
Was it organized indoors or outdoors?
It was an indoor event.
Who sponsored the event?
The event organizer was the Education Department of American Center, but the universities introduced in the conference were the ones who paid.
Who went to the event with you?
I went there with my friends, who shared the same interest in studying abroad as me.
What were some performances in the event?
There were not many performances. Each university representative just had a speech to introduce their school to students, and then they hosted Q&A session.